When life presents us with challenging situations, our first instinct often involves looking for someone to blame or searching for a quick escape route. Yet there exists a profound spiritual approach that transforms these very challenges into powerful opportunities for growth and enlightenment. This threefold practice chanting to understand our lessons, praying to change limiting karma, and doing our best with joy offers a revolutionary way to navigate life's storms while cultivating wisdom, compassion, and inner strength. The foundation of this transformative approach begins with a simple yet profound recognition. Every situation we encounter serves as our teacher. Rather than viewing difficult circumstances as random misfortunes or unfair punishments, we can learn to see them as perfectly designed learning experiences. The Lotus Sutra teaches us that all phenomena are neither existing nor non-existing, but are manifestations of the middle way. This means that every challenge contains within it both the seed of suffering and the seed of enlightenment, depending entirely on how we choose to engage with it. When we face a troubling situation, our natural tendency involves analyzing it from the outside, focusing on external factors and other people's actions. However, the Buddhist approach invites us to turn our attention inward first. Through chanting, we create a sacred space where we can honestly examine our role in creating the circumstances we face. This isn't about self-blame or guilt, but rather about taking responsibility for our spiritual growth and recognizing the deeper patterns at work in our lives. Chanting serves as both a mirror and a magnifying glass for our inner world. As we repeat the sacred sounds, our minds gradually settle, allowing us to perceive subtle connections and patterns that remain hidden during our busy daily activities. We begin to notice how our thoughts, emotions, and actions have contributed to our current situation. More importantly, we start to understand what qualities we need to develop or what attachments we need to release in order to grow beyond our present limitations. The practice of seeking understanding through chanting requires patience and humility. Sometimes the lessons reveal themselves immediately, like sudden flashes of insight that illuminate previously dark corners of our consciousness. Other times, understanding unfolds gradually, like a flower opening its petals one by one over many days. The key lies in approaching this practice with genuine curiosity, rather than demanding immediate answers. As Nichiren Daishonin wrote, "The heart of the Buddha's lifetime of teachings is the Lotus Sutra, and the heart of the practice of the Lotus Sutra is found in the chapter, Never Disparaging." This reminds us to maintain respect for the process itself, trusting that wisdom will emerge when we're truly ready to receive it. Once we begin to understand our lessons, the next step involves addressing the karmic patterns that keep us stuck in repetitive cycles of suffering. Karma, often misunderstood as fate or predetermined destiny, actually represents the dynamic relationship between our actions and their consequences across time. Every thought, word, and deed creates karmic seeds that will eventually manifest as experiences in our lives. When we find ourselves repeatedly facing similar challenges despite our best efforts to change external circumstances, we're likely encountering the fruits of past karmic seeds that require conscious transformation. Prayer, in this context, doesn't mean begging for divine intervention or hoping someone else will solve our problems. Instead, it represents a profound commitment to inner transformation. When we pray to change our karma, we're expressing our sincere desire to break free from limiting patterns and alignments that no longer serve our highest good. This type of prayer carries tremendous power because it aligns our conscious intention with the deepest currents of universal wisdom and compassion. The process of karmic transformation begins with honest acknowledgement of our current patterns. We might recognize tendencies toward anger, fear, jealousy, or attachment that repeatedly create suffering in our relationships. Or we might notice how our need for control or approval keeps us trapped in unfulfilling situations. Through prayer and meditation, we can begin to trace these patterns back to their roots, understanding how past experiences and decisions have shaped our current reality. Karma operates on multiple levels simultaneously. Our immediate karma involves the direct consequences of recent actions and decisions. Our deeper karma includes patterns inherited from our family lineage, cultural conditioning, and what Buddhist teachings describe as influences from previous lifetimes. When we pray for karmic transformation, we're addressing all these levels at once, invoking the power of enlightened wisdom to help us transcend limitations that might otherwise take many years to overcome through effort alone. The Lotus Sutra provides powerful encouragement for this work of karmic transformation. It teaches that even the most deeply rooted negative karma can be changed through sincere practice and devotion. The sutra states, "If there are those who hear this law, then not a one will fail to attain Buddhahood." This promise reminds us that no matter how stuck or hopeless our situation might appear, the potential for complete transformation always exists within us. However, prayer and chanting alone aren't sufficient for real transformation. The third element of this practice involves taking concrete action in the world while maintaining a cheerful, optimistic attitude. This might seem impossible when we're dealing with genuinely difficult circumstances, yet it represents the most crucial aspect of spiritual growth. Doing our best doesn't mean achieving perfection or always succeeding in conventional terms. Instead, it means bringing our full attention, effort, and good intentions to whatever situation we face. The emphasis on cheerfulness might seem particularly challenging, especially when dealing with loss, conflict, or failure. Yet this cheerful attitude doesn't require us to pretend everything is fine or to suppress authentic emotions. Rather, it involves cultivating an underlying confidence that every experience, no matter how painful, serves our ultimate spiritual development. This confidence grows naturally as we practice the first two elements, understanding our lessons and transforming our karma, because we begin to trust the inherent wisdom of life itself. Cheerfulness, in this spiritual context, emerges from a deep appreciation for the preciousness of each moment and each opportunity to grow. When we truly understand that our current challenges are perfectly designed to help us develop specific qualities or overcome particular limitations, we can approach them with genuine gratitude. This doesn't mean we enjoy suffering, but rather that we appreciate the opportunity to strengthen our wisdom, compassion, and resilience. The integration of these three practices creates a powerful spiral of positive transformation. As we gain understanding through chanting, we naturally feel more motivated to address our karmic patterns through prayer. As our karma begins to shift, we find it easier to maintain a positive attitude while taking constructive action. This positive attitude, in turn, helps us remain open to deeper understanding and more profound karmic healing. Real-world application of these principles requires both consistency and flexibility. We might begin each day with a period of chanting, seeking to understand whatever challenges we expect to face. Throughout the day, we can offer brief prayers for karmic transformation whenever we notice old patterns arising. And in each interaction or task, we can practice doing our best while maintaining inner cheerfulness, regardless of external outcomes. The beauty of this approach lies in its universal applicability. Whether we're dealing with relationship conflicts, health challenges, financial difficulties, or career setbacks, the same three-step process can guide us toward wisdom and growth. A person facing divorce might chant to understand what lessons about love, commitment, or personal boundaries they need to learn. They might pray to transform whatever karmic patterns contributed to the relationship's breakdown. And they might approach each conversation with their former partner and each legal proceeding with genuine effort and inner peace. Similarly, someone dealing with illness might seek to understand what their condition can teach them about self-care, priorities, or accepting help from others. They might pray to heal whatever karmic imbalances contributed to their physical symptoms, and they might approach each day of treatment or recovery with full engagement and positive expectations, regardless of immediate results. The workplace provides endless opportunities to practice these principles. When facing a difficult boss or challenging project, we can chant to understand what leadership qualities or technical skills we need to develop. We can pray to transform any karmic patterns around authority, competence, or recognition that might be creating friction. And we can approach each workday with excellence and enthusiasm, focusing on our contribution rather than on external rewards or acknowledgement. One of the most profound aspects of this practice involves learning to see every person we encounter as a teacher or mirror for our own growth. Difficult people often trigger our strongest reactions precisely because they reflect back qualities we haven't yet integrated or healed within ourselves. The person who annoys us with their arrogance might be showing us our own pride. The colleague who seems lazy might be reflecting our own lack of boundaries or self-discipline. When we approach relationships from this perspective, even the most challenging interactions become opportunities for spiritual development. Instead of trying to change other people or avoid difficult personalities, we can focus on understanding what each relationship is meant to teach us. We can pray to transform whatever within us creates conflict or misunderstanding. And we can interact with everyone from a place of genuine care and respect, regardless of how they treat us. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat or accepting inappropriate behavior. Rather, it means maintaining our center while responding skillfully to whatever arises. Sometimes doing our best means setting clear boundaries. Sometimes it means offering forgiveness. Sometimes it means walking away from toxic situations. The key lies in taking these actions from a place of wisdom and compassion rather than from reactive emotions. The cumulative effect of practicing these three principles over time creates profound shifts in how we experience life. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming begin to feel like fascinating puzzles to solve. Relationships that were sources of stress become laboratories for developing patience and understanding. Work that felt meaningless transforms into service to others and opportunities for personal mastery. Perhaps most significantly, we begin to experience a deep sense of purpose and meaning in everything we do. When we understand that every situation serves our spiritual growth, when we actively work to transform limiting patterns, and when we bring our best efforts to each moment, life becomes an adventure rather than a burden. We develop unshakable confidence in our ability to handle whatever comes our way, not because we can control external circumstances, but because we trust our capacity to learn, grow, and respond wisely to anything. The Lotus Sutra reminds us that the Buddha appears in the world for one great purpose: to enable all living beings to open the door to Buddha wisdom. This practice of chanting for understanding, praying for transformation, and acting with cheerful excellence represents one powerful way to open that door. Through consistent application of these principles, we gradually awaken to our own Buddha nature, our inherent capacity for infinite wisdom, compassion, and joy. As we continue walking this path, we discover that what initially appeared to be three separate practices gradually merge into a single, integrated way of being. Understanding, transformation, and joyful action become natural expressions of our awakened consciousness. We no longer need to remember to chant, pray, and act positively, because these responses emerge spontaneously from our deepened wisdom and expanded heart. This integration marks the beginning of truly free living, not freedom from challenges, but freedom within whatever circumstances arise. We become like skilled surfers who can ride any wave with grace and skill, finding joy in the very act of maintaining balance amid constantly changing conditions. Each new situation becomes another opportunity to express our growing wisdom and to serve the highest good of all beings.